In today's video, we're going to explore the vintage Russian Big Muffs by Electro-Harmonics and the modern-day clone that successfully recreated them. What's going on, everybody? I'm Vince, and today we're going to take a look at the RudeTech 3-Muff 14 built by Jesse Rue. It's a 3-in-1 Big Muff style distortion fuzz that offers the 3 Russian Big Muff circuits: the black, the green, and the Civil War. You can also completely bypass the muff circuit but still retain its character, but without the infamous mid-scoops that it's known for, by putting it through an onboard mid-boosted overdrive that has its own dedicated gain knob and internal trim pots so you can tweak it further. In the late 80s, Electro-Harmonics, owned by the infamous Mike Matthews, went bankrupt. In turn, he moved production over to Russia, where he started a new company called New Sensor Corp. In '92, he released what's considered to be the unofficial first Russian Big Muff, the Red Army Overdrive, under the name SovTech. The circuit was identical to the later Russian Big Muffs, but the graphics were different. It was also different than the earlier Big Muffs because it had a fatter bottom end, brighter and less scooped mids, and less gain. In '93, we saw the release of the Civil War Big Muff, which was nicknamed that because of its color scheme, which resembled the uniforms of the Confederate and Union soldiers of the American Civil War. It had the same circuit as the first edition of the Red Army Overdrive, with fatter bottom end, less scoop mids, and less gain. But it was noticeably smoother and was way less gritty than the future black and green Russian Big Muffs. The Civil War Big Muff was notably used by David Gilmour on Pink Floyd's album Division Bell in '93. as the bubble font or tall font green muff, was released in '94. It came in an olive drab green metal enclosure that resembled an old Russian B&P tank, which only reinforced the rumor that these pedals were made from spare Russian tank parts, although they were built in a former Russian military equipment facility ran by 2 Russian colonels. The circuit was identical to the first and second edition of the Red Army overdrive. In general, it did have the same circuit as the Civil War Big Muff, but offered more sustain and wasn't as smooth sounding. It was much closer to the first edition of the Red Army overdrive. Electro Harmonics did release a reissue of this pedal back in August 2017 in their nano format. In '98, SoftTech released the Black Russian Big Muff, which had the same circuit and PCB trace as the third edition of the Green Russian Big Muff. The bass and treble of the tone varied slightly from pedal to pedal, but the differences were usually pretty minor. All in all, Jesse did a phenomenal job at recreating those classic muff circuits and putting them in a pedalboard friendly enclosure. Plus, it's at a much lower price point than the vintage units. Honestly, I really enjoyed this pedal. It has that classic sustain of Big Muffs that I personally love, and the added mid-boosted overdrive really adds a unique character to it. And for the shameless plug, if there's anybody out there who wants to have their pedalboard professionally built, go check out my website, Vagabond Audio. There you can check out all of our latest builds and get yourself a quote for your build. You can find a link in the description box below. And as usual, make sure you like and subscribe, leave a comment, and hit that bell icon so you can check out all my upcoming videos.